Much respect for them. I love watching them. I have a former player on the team, so I've been watching them, studying them. Went to their some of their practices last year when she was a rookie with Alyssa Peely. So Cheryl's the matriarch of this league at this stage, and she does just an unbelievable job. Olympic coach, all the things. So a lot of respect for them and their franchise and what they've It's one thing to win, but to sustain winning is really hard, and they've done it. They've retained their players and all the things. So today, for me, it's one of 43 games left. So I'm very process-driven, and so we're just focusing on today and getting better at the little things from Golden State. And we happen to be playing one of the best teams in the league. But home opener, great opportunity for us. These are the games where the pressure is more on them than us, and those are fun games.
Thank you.
Potentially.
Hi, Coach. Congratulations on Friday.
Thank you.
Charlotte Moore with FI360 News. You just mentioned about Coach Reese being the matriarch. What is something that you have watched and seen her over the years that you, I know you're your own person, but that maybe you like from her or learn from her?
Yeah. And she's been great with me. I have a connection with her just from them drafting Peely, and so she's been a good resource for me, and just again a lot of respect. The one thing I really do have appreciated watching her is just the accountability she holds her players to. They play hard, they play together, they play unselfishly, and to do that you've got to have a coach that really holds you accountable and maintains the team's culture. So I think that's the one thing I would say right now.
Jackie.
Hey Coach, Jackie TV. This is more of a general question for the league. Last year we had an influx of some racism and homophobic fans, and now this year the league started the No Space for Hate campaign. What does that mean for you? Why do you think it was necessary, and what do you want fans to take from that?
Well, I think there is no place for it in our league. I think this is a diverse league. It's a league of predominantly African American women, and we need to be a space that's safe and that empowers everybody. And I think there's a lot of eyes on our league right now, and we need to make sure that we're carrying that banner with seriousness, right, and sincerity. So I think it's a great campaign, and I hope that our fans and fans everywhere understand that these guys are competitors, and they are professionals, but they're also human beings and moms and all the things, and there's just no place for the hate. There really isn't, and I hope that people get behind that.
Michael.
Hey Coach, Michael Matthew, LA Sports Weekly. So you lose Ray for 6 to 8 weeks, so that means more opportunity for Sarah Ashley. Just what did you see from her in the opener, and what kind of things have you guys done to prepare her for this moment today?
Yeah, we call her SA, so I'm going to say Sarah Ashley SA. Get it? So SA's done a tremendous job. She came in prepared. She was ready as a rookie, and there's still a learning curve, but her mentality, she's tough, physically and mentally. She'll look you dead in the eyes and be like, yep, yes ma'am. Like she's that type. So you can get on her, you can challenge her, but her mentality, she was ready. So yes, maybe her minutes are going to be a little bit expedited in terms of our need for her now more, but I have so much confidence in her. She's always in the right place. She understands what we're trying to do on both sides. So she's not making those mistakes of mentally not being prepared. She's mentally there. It's just going to be a matter of her just getting experience in minutes. But what she can bring, she's a really good shooter. She's understandably was probably a little nervous the first game. But she can shoot, and the cool part is that our veterans have a ton of confidence in her, and we're going to need her.
Hey Coach, Nikki Kay with Spectrum Sportsnet. One game of intel under your belt. How would you like to see the first 2 quarters play out in terms of taking steps forward, closer to your vision of basketball?
Yeah, I think, as I have said, and I don't mean to be a broken record, but everything is new, right? And so our coaches are new, we have a lot of new players, and then the system that we're running is new to everybody. And it's not a system that's super black and white. There's a lot of nuance and reads and freedom. There's structure, but there's freedom. And those things just take time. It takes on-court chemistry time to get there. And so I think, you know, there's been really good moments out there and then some moments of like, what are we doing, right? And in my experience as a coach, that's every first few games. You always feel like that, and it's, you know, but at some point it clicks. Today, I'd like to see us execute better. We just need to be able to execute out of timeouts, execute if they go zone, just be a little better in our execution.
John
But-
W. Davis.
Oh.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Coach John W. Davis with the Southern California News Group. What challenges do you feel like the Minnesota Lynx are going to present to you in this game? And then, you know, with that in mind, in general, how do you want to overcome that?
Well, I can't give you all my secrets, Sean, but they're good. I mean, they're predicted to win it in a lot of the spaces. They've got arguably the best player in the world in Nafisa Collier, and she is unbelievably good. Her motor is, she just never stops. But, you know, they return all 5 starters from a team that could have, should have, almost won the championship. And so, you know, the beginning of their training camp, I'm sure, was very different than ours in terms of where they were at versus where we were at in terms of teaching and all that. So I want us to compete. How are we gonna, you know, we gotta just, you can't let someone come in and play harder than you on your home court and expect to win when they're already expected to win, quote unquote. But it's early in the season and, you know, we're focused on ourselves and we have a scout, and all the things, and we're gonna be really dialed in, but I'm really focused on getting our players a little bit better every time.
Coach, Kelsey Plum had historic, debut, 37 points, played the entire game. Is that kind of usage and, minutes played for Kelsey Plum kind of what you expect this season?
No. But, losing Ray after 41 seconds, we were down to 4 guards. But I will say, Kelsey's fitness and strength and conditioning is otherworldly. So I don't, she told me after that happened, like, hey, I can play 40. Take me out if I'm doing something wrong, but don't take me out because you think I'm tired. So I know she can play 40. If there's situations like there were at Golden State where she needs to, she will and she can. But ideally, no. That's not the best case scenario moving forward.
Zero.
Hey Coach, see this Obi from the Ringer. So you've got a player in Rickea Jackson who has incredible potential to become a 3-level scorer and is a great mid-range player. I'm curious with your kind of analytically driven approach, how you approach development with her. Is there a balance, or do you want her to be taking those shots?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been asked that a lot, and it's a great question. My big thing with the analytics is everything is driven by what's the best shot we can take, and best explained by points per shot attempt, points per possession, true shooting, all those kind of things. So if Rickea is taking mid-range and she's getting over a 1.2 on her points per possession, take them all night. Like, if that's a great shot for you, take them. It wouldn't be a great shot for me. I don't know that any of them are, but for her. But again, where you take a mid-range matters too. Like, it's proven statistically, men, women, whatever. If you're taking a mid-range in front, when the hoop's in front of you, it's a much better shot than when you're on the wing. Like, so it's getting her to understand those. But she is a talent in the making. We all can see it, and I want to give her as much freedom and confidence that she needs to reach her potential within the structure of what we're trying to do. And she's learning that, and she's bought in, and so I think the sky's the limit for her.
Miri.
Hi, Coach. Mary Swanson with the Southern California News Group. Wanted to ask about Ray and sort of how she's doing, what you can tell us, and just how she is.
Yeah, she, that was a bummer. And she had, like 4 or 5 days of just, we talk about stacking days where she was ready and had kind of bought into her role and come off the bench and be a spark and be an athlete and get it going defensively. She was ready to roll. And, it's just sometimes life sucks and bad things happen, and in sports injuries happen. But, I spoke with her yesterday for a long time. She's okay. She's okay. I think it could have been worse. We were all worried it was going to be worse. So she'll be back and expected to make a full recovery. And you know, 6 to 8 weeks. So we're grateful about that. It's just unfortunate, but it's part of it, and next man up.
Going to Zoom, Marnie Gallner.
Thank you. Hi, Coach. We're the Minnesota TV broadcast. You brought up Alyssa Peely's name a couple of times. I'm wondering, when you were at Utah, what parts of Alyssa's game did you really appreciate, and what parts of her personality did you appreciate?
Yeah, I'm still close with Peely. She's just an incredible human, comes from an incredible family. You know, I think with her strength and power, there's really kind of the only words that do it justice. You know, she's not the tallest cat, but she's stronger than anybody, or maybe even two people. And so getting her in space where she had room to just use her power was amazing. And then she could shoot the three. She developed that with us. You're seeing it now with the Lynx. So, you know, I'm just incredibly proud of her. And, you know, she had a lot of, you know, things stacked against her, and she's answered the bell. So I'm proud of her. I hope she does well today, but not that well.
Coach, Coach Reed has talked about that her offense right now is ahead of their defense. I was wondering how you would assess for your team where your offense is versus your defense.
Yeah, I think, you know, at Golden State we were better defensively, but, you know, we've got a ways to go. And I think offensively, it's peaks and valleys. Sometimes we look really good, and sometimes we look confused. And we just have to stick with it and just keep chopping wood about just understanding the spacing, the timing. And as they learn to play with each other better, they'll have better synergy out there, and you'll start to see it. So I think we're, you know, on both sides of the ball, we obviously have a lot of room to improve, but I think we're heading in the right direction.
Back to Zoom, Frisco del Rosario.
Hi, Coach.
Hello.
Rickea del Rosario, Utah Women's Basketball Independent. Did you give a thought to retiring after Friday night?
I thought about it. I could go down in the Hall of Fame undefeated WNBA coach. I should have done it. It's too late now, Frisco.
And do you feel there might be a roster imbalance now that you're carrying 3 guards?
Is there a what?
Roster imbalance?
Oh. Yeah, I mean, we're down to 4, but we also have players, you know, Emma Cannon can play the 3, Azrae Stevens can play the 3. We can go big, and we will when we need to, and we'll get Julie Alleman back soon. And so that will help a lot too. That will go from 4 to 5, and 5 guards is doable for sure. 4 is tough, but that's the way it is. We'll roll with it.
Thanks, Coach.
Last question in the room, and then we'll finish on Zoom.
Justin Russo, thanks. Good to see you, Coach. Earlier you mentioned analytics. Where have you seen the game evolve in your time in the game, in college and coming here? Where have you seen the game evolve the most? Is it in analytics, or is there anything else?
You mean analytically, where has it evolved?
No, is analytics the one area you've seen evolve the most in the game in your time in it, or is there something else that you've seen that's kind of grown more in that time?
Well, I think there's been a lot, but you know, the players are bigger, faster, stronger. You know, the athleticism is better. Their explosiveness, the way they're training and preparing their bodies and all the things is just advanced. You know, just that the science of performance, nutrition, and all the things that we know now that we didn't 20 years ago, I think has changed the game. But then the analytics piece is huge. I think, you know, it's a way to, you know, win the game within the game and just try to be really strategic in how you approach. You know, you see that in the NBA and the WNBA, the spacing now, ideally everyone can shoot, you know, it just 3's more than 2. So, you know, you want to make sure you have people that can make the 3, but I think the game is moving towards that and has been.
Last question on Zoom, Andrew Jones.
Thanks a lot as always, Joshua. Andrew Jones, Believe Network. Coach, I want to ask you first about seeing Jessica Shepard and Diamond Miller, how they had their impact the other night for the Lynx and the challenges of stopping them, as well as the commemorative ball that you got from Reagan, that the glitziest ball that you received. What do you think?
Yes, I'll start with that one, yes. And Reagan even said, I know you're not much of a glam girl, but I think you're going to like this. And I was like, I do like this. I've got a secret glam to me. So that was very thoughtful, unexpected. And, you know, I'm not, in this to get attention for myself. I just want to compete, but it was nice gesture. The Sparks is it truly is a tight-knit group that looks out for each other and celebrates each other, and that was an example of that. So it's on our kitchen counter, and my boys last night were teasing me that they were going to dribble it, and I was freaking out, don't, and they thought it was really funny, so I need to move it to the office. That's the moral of that story. In terms of the Lynx, yeah, Jess Shepard looks really good, and you know she's fit and strong, and she understands what they're trying to do. She's been great for them. So we have our hands full there, and same with Diamond. So their whole roster's good. You know, I don't see at this point. I know they're not all fully back, but there's not many holes. And so to beat a team like that, you've got to be collectively really, really good and tough, and not get too high, not get too low, just stay steady. So again, much respect for them. But I believe in our team, and I'm excited to get out there and put a good fight together.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you all for being here. Appreciate it.